Welcome to our high school. Today we are going to deal with 10th class biology. The first topic in 10th class biology is nutrition. Nutrition, the food supplying system. Food. Why do we need food? Generally, the common answer is we need food to get energy. Beyond that, each and every living organism need food to survive and to maintain some kind of body functions, such as for proper growth of the body and to repair the body systems and to maintain body temperature as well. So these are very important aspects in the living organism to need to get food. Food is needed each and every living organism, from a small single cellular organism to a huge multicellular organism, to maintain its body requirements. Of course, the food what they take is very different from organism to organism according to their body requirements, and the mode of acquiring is also different from organism to organism. Now next, the modes of nutrition. Modes of nutrition is mainly two types, that is autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition. First one, let us see that autotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition. Auto means self. Tropic means feed. We are all very well known that, and we have already learnt in our earlier classes, autotrophic nutrition, that means autotrophs which can perform by autotrophs. Autotrophs means just like simple plants. These plants, they can prepare their own food by utilizing sunlight with the help of carbon dioxide and water, and we are all very well known about that one. So here it's a mode of nutrition which is performed by the autotrophs, hence we can call it as autotrophic nutrition. So if we see the little bit difficult definition, autotrophs are the organisms which are capable of using light energy to synthesize chemical compounds like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, etc. That means these autotrophs are capable of utilizing light energy. Light energy in the sense here, sunlight. So by utilizing the sunlight, they are able to synthesize some kind of chemical compounds. What are those chemical compounds? Carbohydrates, proteins, fats. So we are all very well known about this one. Carbohydrates, proteins and fats. These are the main ingredients. These are the main ingredients which are present in our diet. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats. Primarily, plants will prepare these chemical compounds for its own purpose. Later on, these products are utilized by the other living organisms. So, in other words, we can say that either directly or indirectly, each and every living organism depends on plants, because as they are capable of preparing its own food. So we know that one, the complete process what they are performing, that means the autotrophs what they are performing, the process is, we are all very well known that the process is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, that means this definition also, this process also you have already learnt in your earlier classes. Photo means light, synthesis means to prepare. So that means photo means light. So plants, they are able to utilize light, that is sunlight. Already we have learnt here. So plants are able to utilize light, that means sunlight, and they are able to produce some kind of complex organic molecules. Complex organic molecules. That is that one. Let us see the definition first. Photosynthesis, it is a process to build up complex organic molecules from simple inorganic molecules using sunlight as energy source. See here, build up a complex organic molecule. Build up complex organic molecule. From whom? A simple inorganic molecule. Simple inorganic molecules. So let us see what are those simple inorganic molecules. Simple inorganic molecules means carbon dioxide and water. See, we are all very well known that carbon dioxide is very abundant gas in the atmosphere, and as well we are all exhale this carbon dioxide gas, and along with that one water is also very abundant in the soil. So from the air as well from the soil, so these two CO2, that means carbon dioxide, and water, these two simple inorganic molecules are utilized by the plant in the presence of sunlight. So by utilizing these simple inorganic molecules, plant will prepare complex organic molecules, that is starch. Okay, so this starch we are all using as a food material. We know that one. So by this we can say that plants are universal food providers. So here photosynthesis makes the plant as universal food providers. Without photosynthesis, no organism will survive on this earth. It's a very fact. We should believe that one. That's it. And as well, let us see the importance of photosynthesis. So what this photosynthesis helps to the living world. So the first one is makes the plants as universal food providers. Generally, plants are able to prepare their own food for its own purpose, but we are all using the food material along with the plants also. Hence, this only because of photosynthesis. So that we can say that plants are photosynthesis helps to makes the plant as well, and it makes the plants as a universal food providers. And next one is this process helps to make the food for plants and animals. I told you just now. Next one is maintains balance between carbon dioxide and oxygen in the atmosphere. This is very important thing. Okay, so we know that nowadays, because of pollution, by using various kinds of human activities, lots of carbon dioxide is emitting into the atmosphere. So these plants utilizing that CO2, that means carbon dioxide, by utilizing that carbon dioxide, they are able to produce organic molecule, that means a starch. And not only that, along with that one, it is releasing oxygen. So that without plants we can't imagine this world, and we can't say that this world is a living world. So because it is providing food for us, as well it is giving oxygen for us. So without plants there is no oxygen in the atmosphere. So by this process, that means what is that process? Because of photosynthesis, there is a balance between oxygen and carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis is a very complex process which involves several steps and several reactions in that process. Along with that one, several intermediary compounds are also formed during the reaction. But however, this is a very complex process. Scientists had tried to formulate this entire process in an equation over past 200 years. But however, in the year 1931, C.B. Van Neel formulated an equation, that is CO2 plus 2H2O gives rise to CH2O plus H2O plus O2. This entire process takes place in the presence of light with the help of chlorophyll molecule. See, according to his opinion, whose opinion? According to C.B. Van Neel's opinion, for each molecule of carbohydrate formed, one molecule of water, one molecule of oxygen formed. But however, this is a very simple equation, but it is not at all explaining the complexity of the photosynthesis process. But however, for the first time, he tried to formulate the photosynthesis. So according to him, till now, this equation is this equation only we are using with some kind of modifications. So let us see his works on photosynthesis. For the first time, he formulated equation on photosynthesis, that is CO2 plus 2H2O plus gives rise to CH2O plus H2O plus O2. This entire process takes place in the presence of light with the help of chlorophyll molecule. And next one is, he worked on purple sulfur bacteria. He worked on purple sulfur bacteria to prove the role of light in photosynthesis. What is that? He worked on purple sulfur bacteria to prove the role of light in photosynthesis. In that process, he used H2S gas, that is hydrogen sulfide gas, instead of using water. So in that process, generally if we use water in photosynthesis process, we will get oxygen. But here he used hydrogen sulfide gas. He exposed this bacteria to hydrogen sulfide gas. So as a result, instead of oxygen, sulfur gas is evolved in that process. But however, by conducting this experiment, he proved that light plays a major role in photosynthesis. Later on, another scientist, Robert Hill, he came forward. He supported the opinion of the Van Niel's experiments on photosynthesis. But what he did, he conducted experiments with water. But here he conducted experiment, this bacteria, when he exposed this bacteria to light, he used hydrogen sulfide gas. But here Robert Hill used water. So whenever he used water there, oxygen gas is evolved. But here H2S, so hydrogen sulfide gas is used. Whenever hydrogen sulfide gas is used, sulfur gas is evolved. But here when he used water, oxygen gas is evolved. With some kind of modifications, Robert Hill modifies the C.B. Van Niel's equation, and he prepared the equation on photosynthesis as follows. That is, 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus O2. And here also, and we know that this entire process takes place in the presence of sunlight with the help of chlorophyll molecule. And by seeing this equation, a little bit, not the complete photosynthesis process, but however most of the process we can understand by seeing this equation. That means carbon dioxide and water are the raw materials for photosynthesis. As a result, finally the end products are starch, water, as well oxygen. As the oxygen is a gas, it will escapes into atmosphere, and these starch and water will be stored in the various parts of the plants, so that this starch is utilized. After utilizing the plant, this starch is stored in various parts of the plant, and later on different kinds of animals they are using according to their needs. You will get much more information about photosynthesis in further classes, so do follow regularly. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And if you have any doubts and questions regarding this lesson, put it in comment section. Thank you.